we really are seeing what's called a snow drought. And this snow drought is completely temperature driven. We're normal precipitation, but we're setting this kind of record warm winter. Hello, I'm David Hokema with the Idaho Department of Water Resources. I'm a hydrologist here, and I want to talk to you about temperature this winter. We are having an extraordinarily warm winter, just under the temperatures record, which was set in 1934. So what we see in this slide is precipitation as a percent of normal across the western United States. And what you can see is Washington and Idaho and Montana, precipitation has been above average. But when we look at what snow is on the ground, we see we're significantly below average. In the southwestern United States, they're really low. But even in Idaho, we're setting some record low snowpack in many areas. We're higher than the Southwest because we have more precipitation. But why is the precipitation not equal to the snowpack? It's really a story of temperature. So if we look at this map, it shows temperature. And when you look at the bottom of the screen, record-setting temperatures are between the 98 and the 100th percentile in dark red. So you can see the whole western United States has been extraordinarily warm. And this map is showing you temperatures from October through the end of January based on a 130-year record from 1896 to 2025, comparing the temperatures in 2026. So we really are extraordinarily warm. And then if you look at Idaho in particular, you zoom in, you can see our October was about average. And then we got really warm in November, December, and even January has remained really warm. And so if you look back at the record, this is a graph showing the annual average temperature from November through January. And so 32 degrees Fahrenheit, of course, is freezing. When you're below freezing, you can build a lot of snowpack. And what we see is 1934 is historically the warmest winter on record. And then if you look at us over here in 2026, water year 2026 starts in October. If you look at, that should be October through January temperature, we are just below 1934. And if you look at the entire water year from October through September, 1934 is that record-setting year, and it was really set by the winter temperatures. And so if you look at this water year temperature record, you'll notice there were some really cool winters, but then we haven't had a very cool winter in quite a while, since the 90s. We've had some that were reasonably cool, but when you look, they're kind of right around average, our coolest winters lately. And so this is 2025. We don't have water year 2026 yet, but because we're seeing this correlation between 1934 and 2026 here, we could be on our way to setting the warmest water year on record. If you look at the total water year again, this is June, July, and August temperatures. 1934 doesn't even show up hardly. It's one of these years that aren't too far off from average. 1961 was pretty warm. And then 2021 is the warmest June, July, and August on record. And you can see we haven't had a lot of really cool summer temperatures. So even if we have a fairly normal, like we had in 2025, those temperatures, we would set a new water year record. But it really is a story that it's that winter temperature that has pushed the snow level up. because the temperatures are so far above freezing. It's pushed the snow level up to around kind of the top of Bogus Basin. And so typically that snowpack would come down to around 4,000 or 5,000 feet. But this year we're seeing it starting around 6,500 feet and then getting fairly strong at 7,000 feet and solid at 8,000 feet. But when you take all that mid and low elevation snow out because of these warm temperatures, even though we've had the rain there, because we don't have the snow, we really are seeing what's called a snow drought. And this snow drought is completely temperature driven. We're normal precipitation, but we're setting this kind of record warm winter.